Okay, today we're going to take a look at some of the other things that you can do with Word. We've covered basically all the major stuff, but there's a few things in here that you might use from time to time. Within your keyboard, there's hidden characters. So if I type the letters A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, semicolon, and apostrophe, I'm just going to type those letters in first. And I'm just going to make them a little bit bigger, which might make it a little bit easier to see. If I hit return and I type those same letters, but I hold down my option key, so I'm going to hold down my option key and hit the letter A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, colon, apostrophe, you can see that each of those keys represents something else. I can also go one step further and hold down my shift key and my option key, and you can see A looks the same, S looks a little bit different, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, colon, and apostrophe have different characters underneath them. Why do you think that's important? Well, there's certain characters that you might want to use, but you don't see them on your keyboard. One, for example, is if you hold down the option key and hit the number 8, you will get a big black bullet. If I just hold down my shift key and hit the 8, you'll see I'll get the asterisk. Now if I mix those two together and hold down the shift key and the option key and hit the number 8, I get the degree sign. So that might come in handy when you type in the temperature is 56, and I want that degree sign, so I'm going to hold down the shift key, hold down the option, and hit the number 8, and I will get the degree sign. Another example that you might want to do is the cent sign. So if you look at another monetary value would be the dollar sign, so it might be hidden behind that dollar sign. So I'm going to hold down my option key and hit the number 4. Do you see how the dollar sign, instead of the dollar sign, I get the cent sign? So I hold down the option key, hit the number 4. And I might want to use that, please pay me 75, and hold down my option key, hit number 4, and put cents in there instead. Okay, there's some other symbols. If you look at the diagonal line in math, that usually represents division. So if I hold down my option key and hit the diagonal line, I will get the division sign. Another one that might come in handy is sometimes there are accent points over certain letters. For example, oops, let me go back here. I might have an accent sign over the top of the letter E. How did I do that? I held down the option key, hit the letter E, let go of everything, and hit the E again. Okay, and so again, you can get accents over the top. So again, it's kind of fun to go around and play with it just by holding down the option key. If I hit Q, W, E, R, T, Y, U, I, O, P, you can see the P is the pi sign. And if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, you can see maybe I might want to use an infinity sign or something like that. This one right here to the left of the cursor is that paragraph marking sign. So there's all kinds of hidden symbols located right under the keys you have. The only thing you have to do is hold down the option key and try some, or shift option might give you some different options. All right, I'm going to clean off my screen, and then we're going to try something else. Okay, another thing, we haven't hit everything in our insert tab. So all I did was click on this insert tab, and you know we've covered pretty much all of those right there. Next, we're going to work on this one right here. If we type in Valley City Public Schools, we have the words, and we might want to link these words so that when somebody touches the link, it'll go to Valley City Public Schools. So to play it safe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my browser. I'm going to go find highliners.org, make sure that this is the school website. I will click on it. I just want highliners.org, and I want to click on that, all of this. I want to copy it. I'm going to go back into my Word document. I'm going to select Valley City Public Schools, and I can use one of two things. I have this link I could do a hyperlink, or I can hit the link right there. So I'm going to click on the link. I have the address there, so I'm going to paste it in there because that one came right off the internet. Sometimes the addresses are really long, so sometimes it's easier just to copy and paste them. And then I'm going to click done. You will notice now Valley City Public Schools is a hyperlink because it is blue, it has an underline. If I were to click on that, I can do a couple of different things. I could go open it right from this page, and you will see that it will go to highliners.org. Okay, and then I'm going to go back into my Word page. So again, all you have to do is, if you are going to insert a hyperlink by using the box up here, again, you could click on there. I would type in my address or paste it in there and do it that way. Okay, that looks a lot better than if I would do this. Okay, this is going to be a hyperlink if I just paste it in there, but not many people know what that address is for. We know that it is for the school, but it's not very descriptive. So again, it's better off to have some descriptive words and then put a hyperlink to it. Excuse me. Something else we talked a little bit about here, we have this one right there, our header and footer. We can add a header, delete it. We can, once we edit a header, if we have the header up there, we can click on page numbers right next to it, and we could put a page number in the top, say we want it up in the top right. You will notice that it comes up in the top right. If we have more than one page, for example, I go down here and I hit return until I get to the second page, you will notice that now the header contains the correct page number. It'll keep moving it along that way. Next, we're going to take a look at a few other things here. We're going to go back to our review tab on the top. We've taken a look at spelling. Over here is our word count. So again, we can click on that and it'll count the number of words that are on our page, the number of characters, and so forth. You can tell we don't have a lot of stuff on here. It is considered 5 words because here's a word. It's basically from when you start typing until you hit the space. You will notice that there's no spaces here, so it's not considered more than 1 word. Okay, so when we double check our word count, we can see it up there. Something else we can do is the I here. It is a smart lookup. So if I were to, I'm going to type in a few words here. If I type the word school and I select that and I do a smart lookup on the word school, you can see that it will define what the school is. And we can go through, we can explore, we can hit define, and there's all the information for your word. Okay. We could do the word change, just a random word. Again, we can select it. And again, our smart lookup is either up here or you'll notice that it's right also in here. And it's pretty handy there. It'll bring up the explore part and the definition of the word that you're selected. Now I'm going to open up a different document, the buzzwords that we used the other day, and show you just a few more things. Again, I'm going to be in the review tab. So again, if I go to this right here with our ABCs, I can check my spelling. This right here, the word count, remember, it'll go through and it'll count the number of words in the document, the number of characters and so forth. If I choose, remember the letter I, this is a smart lookup. So let's see if buzzwords is actually in the smart lookup. And it is that, and it is there. Okay, and so we can take a look at that. Another option is I'm going to select this first paragraph, and you can see now I'm going to go to the A with the little sound vibes. And when I click on that, it'll read it.
Buzzwords are slang words or phrases that usually sound technical and important. Often, words are used in a different way, or usual words are merged to create.
Okay, so again, it'll read it to you. On the other end of it, I could go to the end of my document here, and instead of typing, I can use the voice to text. So I'm going to use this option right down in here. There's a microphone, so I'm going to click on that. Yours might say it needs access. I'm not sure if you've used this before or not, but again, if I just go to my settings, flip on my microphone, go back into Word, then it'll be ready for me to use. Give it a second here. Okay, so now I'm going to go back down here, and I'm going to go down here and flip on my microphone, and then I can start talking, period. One thing you have to make sure you do when you use voice to text is you have to make sure that it types exactly what you're saying and not replace words for you, period. So again, like I said from before, it is just that you have to make sure that you proofread to make sure that the correct words popped up. And so that comes in really handy also. One last thing I'm going to show you today is underneath the Insert tab again. It's the add-ons at the end. They're kind of fun to play around with. Okay, so if I go to the add-ons, yours might not have the recently used, so we're going to go down to the bottom where it says See All. The first one I'm going to have you take a look at is the math type. Okay, you can see it's right here, math type. So add that. And then you might have to go down to the bottom and agree with the terms above and continue, and it'll load it up for you. So we're going to open up, there's a math type and there's a chem type. We're going to open up the math type. Okay, so on here, this is where you'll be able to write in a formula. So we might, I always have to get it ready. So we could put 2x plus 3 squared over 5 plus 3 squared equals. Okay, so when we do that, you will notice that this right here pops up down here as a type formula. When it's like we want it down here, we can click on the Insert button here, and it'll come into our document. Really pretty slick. So again, all you do is you open up your math type, and you type in your 2 plus 3 equals 5. It'll show down here, and then you just hit Insert. And you can see I kind of piled mine up on each other. And then you can close it when you are done with it. Okay, another add-in, so now we're back up here again, we're in our Insert. Another add-ins I want you to take a look at when you hit See All, go down to the QR for Office, and we'll add that. And again, here you are able to make a QR code for a website. So the website that we're going to choose up here is where you type it in. You can see HTTP is already selected. If that's correct, then we can just type in Highliner, H-I-L, let's spell it right, HILINERS.org. Okay, right here we can choose colors, so maybe we want it red. We could choose a background, maybe we want a black background, depends what we want. The size, we can drag the little slider, make it a little bit bigger. Okay, when we get it done, we can hit insert, and there is our QR code. So we should be able to take our phone or our iPad and use that code, and it would jump to Hyperlinks.org. I didn't put it in a very good spot. I put it in between formulas, but again, you can move it basically anywhere you want. So it is a picture. We could do the wrap text, so we could put it in front of the text, and that would allow us to move it. All right, there is one more I'm going to have you take a look at, and then on your own you could do whatever you want with it. Just going to delete a couple things here because I'm kind of getting a mess here. Okay, the next one I'm going to have you take a look at in the add-ins is, let me go back. I might have to close out. Sorry about that. Little thing gets in the way sometimes. Okay, our add-ins, see all. We're going to find the one that says symbols and characters. Okay, we're going to add that in there and continue. And you will notice a couple of things. You have a bunch of different symbols and characters you can use, and then you have the home button. Okay, so we're going to take this first one, and we can use any of these options that we want. And you're familiar with that. Now we're going to hit the home. And again, we could go to arrows, and there's some different types of arrows that we could add. We could hit the home again. There's some circles. So you could spell your name, N-A-M-E. There's different circles type things, and you kind of get the hint of it now. Just hit the home, and there's a bunch of other different options for you that you can put in there with your add-ins. Okay, once you close it and you click on your add-ins, you can see how your recently used add-ins will go right there. And again, if you click on the other option, My Add-ins, you will see that the ones that I use are right there. This reminds me, there's one more I want to show you. Okay, so we're going to go to Add-ins and Translator. This one's kind of fun to do too. Okay, so we're going to go and we are going to type in a word. Let's type in the word pencil. Okay, once I do that, I'm going to select it. And you can see over here, the French for pencil is crayon. Okay, I might want to go and find out what the Spanish word is. So I'm going to go down, I'm going to scroll down, and oops, I don't want that one, I want Spanish. The Spanish word is right there. So what I can do then is, you can see how you can cancel your edit. Okay, I can cancel it, or I can insert. So if I put it in there, it will replace the word. Or if I just have the cursor blinking there, I can insert it in that spot.